Here we go. Welcome everyone to the Bullet Chat Podcast, the unofficial, unqualified, and undeniably unnecessary tribute to the Silver Bullet Scramble. It's a golf tournament born in 1988 with 12 guys and a keg of beer. 4 decades later, it's a great golf tournament at an affordable price, and now it has a podcast. Hosted by Odie, Portly, and Sadie, 3 guys who don't know the first thing about podcasting, but are going to give this a shot anyway. We have only 2 rules. 1, don't embarrass anybody. And number 2, don't end anyone's career. That simply wouldn't be nice. Please keep in mind, we remember this through the haze of a lifetime, and we make no promises about the accuracy or validity of any story we tell, but we do think that the stories are worth telling. If you think we've broken one of our 2 rules, we sincerely apologize. Please don't take offense. Please don't get litigious. And with that, all right, sit back, enjoy a favorite beverage. It's time to have some fun. Here's Odie to get us started.
Well, here we are. Somehow episode number 3 is going live. We successfully made it through episode 2. We got some great trending online. I think we're up to 5 subscribers and 73 views. We had 1 hater, Renner, but we've kind of put him aside for the moment. Sadie, you guys, how do you think the first one went?
I listened to it driving to Walla Walla the other day, and I was actually laughing my ass off. I don't know why. I don't know if it was good, but I liked it. It's good enough.
Who would you say has been the star of the show so far?
Portly.
Yeah, by far.
Portly is so far has top billing. He will be in all the promo posters and will be featured on the media kit for all the sponsors. So yeah, Portly's the star. Are the guys using the saw back there? Is that all right?
Yeah, it's perfect background noise.
Should I ask him to get closer?
How's your week of golf gone since we last spoke?
Not good. I kind of hatcheted it around on Saturday. I played Beeler in singles. He birdied 2 of the first 3 holes. Then I got a little bit pouty, and then I was done. Lost, I don't know, I think we lost I think I Venmo'd him $58 in the end.
Ouch.
Yeah, that hurt.
Beeler can play. Beeler's good.
Beeler can't
It's
play.
a good round number.
Well, what's kind of cool about today is last week we just kind of talked about all the different directions this podcast could go. Today we're getting focused on the origin of the bullet, 38 years ago, which, by the way, is really cool because the 3 of you and myself, we're all on the same team going into the 38.
You know what I was thinking?
We got our
should
team
take a minute to pre-celebrate and then just go play to the celebration.
So many people are thinking.
Good win, guys.
Yeah. So
Great job.
Yeah.
I know, but not all 4 of them are together anywhere right now. So whatever, screw them.
Yeah. Team chemistry coming together.
I think we're the team where they say that's why they play the game.
Yeah.
No one's giving us a chance.
So many people out there
and
saying this is Team DFL right now.
Yeah, that's all right. I like cheap Calcuttas.
Well, and there might be people
We'll go shock the
wondering.
world.
There might be people wondering who Wade Harold Hudspeth is. So he's our special guest for today.
Love the fact that it says Wade Harold Hudspeth, by the way.
Well, you did it to yourself.
Did I?
Can I give the intro to Wade?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, because our first guest, and we've been doing this a week, so welcome. But I also think it's a good first guest because we're going to talk about the origin, and I think Wade explains how the bullet came together. The bullet was in progress probably 8 years before it ever started, right? Because we all met in junior high. And Odie, you'll remember this. We were at Whitford playing against Highland Park, and we would just crush them every time.
Every time.
And that
Am
was
I not
fun.
supposed
And
to say
one time,
anything during the intro?
No, you
haven't
you're
been
being introduced
yet.
right now. Just
Okay,
listen.
okay.
It gets better
I'm
for
not
you
here
in a
yet.
second.
John
But
Kim.
remember that one time we had that big basketball game, and we sent them black roses at Highland Park during the day, and then they countered by having their cheerleaders spread whipped cream or something all over the floor. So it was like playing basketball on an ice rink, which was nice try. Didn't work.
Yeah.
But the important thing was in 1983 when Whitford acquired Highland Park and rebranded itself as Beaverton High School, Wade got a taste of winning, and that probably felt pretty good.
It did.
Sure it did. And the winning just continued. He's a 3-time bullet champion, as far as I can tell. Is there more?
No, just the 3.
The 3-time bullet champion, brought Portly to the table, Ladies and gentlemen, Harold Hudspeth.
Oh,
Let's give it up for.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Wade.
I think
Wait a minute. This is not how we welcome our guests. I mean, we got to get more like.
Yeah.
But
I thought one of the rules was you can't embarrass someone, so I think you're going to have to edit that. I'm
Well,
completely
we didn't.
embarrassed. This was so nice of you.
Yeah.
This is going
Well,
to
Wade,
be
welcome to the room.
this is going to be revisionist history. This entire segment.
Yeah.
101.
Yeah. So Wade,
Yeah.
welcome to the podcast. As you know, today we're focused on telling the story of the origin of the bullet. I mean, in a few words, how did this bullet get started?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Big fan of the show. Watched all the episodes. I think I texted you guys. My face literally hurt after watching the first one. I had smiled for like 30 minutes or however long it was. So yes, thank you. So I've already went, Stephen, you weren't here, but I already went through it. I thought we were live. My perception of how it started was we were sitting around at Sadie and Gamby's apartment, which we did all the time, drinking beer most likely and just trying to figure out what to do. And the phone rang, and it was midday. Phone rang. Sadie went over, got it off the wall, answered it, came back,
Off the wall.
said Casey's coming over. Sat around for a while figuring out what to do. And then Casey came over and brought this, let's go play camping and go golfing. And I think we all kind of went, sure, we haven't came up with anything else. I think it was Sadie and Gamby's place, me, Tim, Estep, and Odie. We're all sitting around trying to figure out what to do. And I don't know why Eric didn't play in the first one. Something must have been going on. But I think it was an easy answer of yes, let's do it. And we were all pretty excited. And then, of course, we get there and Doug, Jimmy, was it Berger?
Yeah.
And someone else. I didn't even know they were coming until we got to the tee box.
Duty. It was raw. It's not raw.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Was
is
he a one and done? Is he the original one
I
and
need to
done?
break in here for a second here. Was this before or after the big fight between Sadie and Gamby? The fist fight in the house?
the Boughton at the Fountains. The Boughton at the
wait a
Fountains. Oh.
We
Wait,
got
something's happening.
we got a guest who just joined us.
Whoa.
Oh my God,
Surprise
it's
guest.
Casey.
Casey, welcome to the Bullet Chat podcast.
We're gonna fact check
Oh,
here.
Yeah. We're going to do some fact checking. So your timing's perfect. We were just literally this episode's focused on the origin of the bullet, how it got started, where it got started, who was in the room, how did we make any decisions, and then kind of telling the story of the first bullet. And
I mean, the origin.
well, hold on before you get going. For those of you who don't know, Casey Garland, in my mind, we're giving him 100% credit for getting this thing started.
100%. I don't think anyone's argued that.
So let's bring him on and let's just hear it.
Basically, the bullet was an offshoot of where Mike, Sadie, Brad Gamby, and I worked, and they had 5 scramble tournaments every year. First year, I said, "Let's go do this." It was just going to be. No, we got to get another team. And then we got Berger, Johansson, Ward. I'm spacing the name. It wasn't Rupert.
Roth.
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 Yeah.
Roth.
Roth.
Yeah.
So
So it was.
So
just,
why did those 4 though? Or did you call Kelly because he could run down and get Jim, and Jim had a tap, and that was a pretty important feature.
Ooh.
again? Originally, I just made the teams. I tried to pick what I thought would be fair, and so
Interesting, Casey, that you won it the first year. Yeah, really fair.
in the playoff. But then same thing, like the Elkhorn the next year. We added. I think Whitey got in that year, and we added teams. But they were basically just made teams that I thought would be fair. And
There was no draft for quite a while.
And I think we did that for about 4 or 5 years. And then the EC, okay, we don't want it too big. Let's invite everyone you want. We got our softball guys in with Clark and Fedler, and Sammy. And not everyone was a golfer, but now the top, 20 guys all are 10 and under, probably 40 guys are 10 and under handicap. Back then we had Bulls Gang and Ball. that were good.
Yeah.
And everyone else was kind of a 5 to a 13. So the handicaps got way better. Then we said, okay, then we got the EC, everyone in the, we're only going to
Casey, I'm going to interrupt you there for a second because we're trying to stay mutely focused on that very first bullet. And who I saw was in the room, who I remember being in the room when you announced let's do a bullet, was me, MB, Balls, Gang, Katie, Hudspeth, and we were sitting around saying, what are we going to do this weekend? And you threw out the idea of the scramble. And I think all of us looked at you like, or half of us looked at you like, well, what's a scramble? And Tim and you and Chris explained it. I remember we needed a third team because Chris said, if you only have 2 teams, it's a match. If you have 3 teams, it's a tournament.
Great point.
That was is there.
Words of wisdom.
That's early leadership.
Early kind of found. Then the people were rolling down on the river, and the keg rolled down to the river. It was.
I slept in the river.
Yeah,
that was a highlight.
Yeah. We did do it. It was just the one game per year. One Elkhorn. I'm not sure what year we ended up doing the reboot down at Kokatee, but I know that's the one victory game he should have had and never got it. His name should be on the trophy.
Yeah.
You know what, Case? So last week we were talking about topics for this, and one of those topics was first responders. And I think you and I had the first contact with first responders on the very first bullet.
Yes.
Because we were looking, right? We were looking for the campground, and you were doing U-turns at Mach 8 like you do.
Yeah.
And we got rung up.
Yeah.
And I was I was not in good shape at that point. I think I was hanging out the window, and I just remember the cop asking, "What's wrong with him?"
Well, if I remember, Mike, you were I remember you were lamenting because a girlfriend had just broken up with you.
Yeah, well, that was a rough time. It led to a little bit of alcohol, and
No,
no, we don't use names.
No, we don't use names. We don't use names.
You don't? No, she's fine. Everyone goes through shit, but I do remember, Mike. I don't believe you had a club that was in working condition at the end.
Well, no. At one point, I ran one of my clubs into the rest of my clubs in my bag, and next I pulled out a 7-iron, and I'm standing over the ball, and I just remember Casey going, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Look at your club," and it looked like this kind of. It was like all crooked. And then Holzgang gave me a lecture about not hitting your bag, but then I watched Chris hit his bag last year. And,
was that the first bullet?
That was the first bullet. I broke like half the clubs in my bag on that move, and then I watched Chris do it last year, and I said, "Hey," I reminded him of that, and he said, "But the difference between you and me is I know how to hit my bag." So I don't know how it works.
So question. Did we camp 2 nights or just 1 night that first year?
It was 2 nights. Two nights. So I'll give you a little recap of it. So I think what we did is we went camping, spent the night, got up the next day, started drinking way too early, continued drinking all day, ended up at a golf course where some of us by the 8th, 9th, 10th hole were just asked to get out of the cart and walk. And
by some of us,
you
mean you. I got to ride in the cart all day. I mean, what happened?
Well, it was those Miller King cans.
What happened?
You're 20 years old, and a Miller King can was a lot.
The consumption by the Vol, Cody, Gamby, Hudspeth team certainly helped the victory for us that first year.
Which set the tone for the rest of the bullet. For 38 years of the bullet.
Yeah, we were not even close to that. Odie, I don't know if you hit 120 feet during the playoff.
He quit getting air about 16. But we'd use the drive. He was playing great, but then we went to the playoff, and on the 4th hole, we still needed him. And it's a pretty easy par 4 where it's kind of bush lined, not tree lined, bush lined. And he yards it in the very first bush on the left, sitting in the bush. So I think it was the first cheating moment of the bullet, because Tim just had us swing as hard as we could at the bush to try to clear him some air, get him some room, and then Tim put it on the front of the green. Phenomenal shot. Yeah. And then Chris made the putt.
Is that cheating?
I think it possibly cheating. I don't know. It's scramble.
Well, for those who don't know,
Odie, didn't you end up with a wedge in a tree too, and have to go find it?
Yeah, I don't feel like this podcast is about me though. Oh, Portly, where'd you go? I got a question for you.
We're talking about first.
Yeah. I know.
It kind of.
You know what I remember?
It kind of is about you though. You're kicked out of the cart. You're fetching wedges out of trees. Sorry.
We all mature at different stages, and some are still working on it. But I think for some of those who don't know, who might see this podcast, girlfriends, wives, etc., what's really interesting about all the players that were playing in this, they were D1 athletes. We had two of the best golfers in all of Oregon at the time. We had been competing against each other and with each other since like 9 years old. Sadie mentioned earlier, and we were fortunate to grow up in a pretty supportive community. I'm curious for Portly. Portly, you joined the Bullet in year 3, but what were the all-state golfers like at Bandon?
Golfing in Bandon was for people who couldn't play baseball. That's who golfed, and it was Bandon Face Rock Golf Course, little 9-holer. But yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you who was on the Bandon golf team, and we may not even had one. But this year, Bandon won the 2A state championship. Look where we've come in 39 years.
A plug for Bandon.
What's your mascot?
Well
done. Tigers.
Portly, you're the Bullet mascot. Bandon is the Tigers. Okay, all right.
Yeah. And Casey, I got a question for you. In that very first Bullet, somebody came up with the idea that we had to use 2 drives per person per 9 holes. Like, how did that come about?
That was from Western Internet. That was the rules back when we played what was called the Kipper, which was in September during Yom Kippur. But yeah, the 2 per 9 was the traditional, always was 2 per 9. And then I don't know what year we switched it, because it was 2 per 9 for both 8 teams. And then I think the EC, we kind of said, geez, that's been a little tough. Too many guys hitting it out of bounds on the last hole, and we ended up changing it to 3 per.
Yeah, holes can't involve.
Somehow we lost our engineer on this podcast, but it looks like it's still recording, so we'll see what happens here. All right, so another question I had was, we had the 2 drives per 9, and then on the playoff holes, we said if you use somebody's drive, you can't use them again until you use everybody else's drive. Was that also from the Kipper?
Yes, absolutely. You got to keep the rotations going. You had to make it tough. It made it hard. And again, that's why the early scores, 2 per 9 for 36 holes, that's hard. You're using guys, and again, I go back, in the Kipper, I would literally tell guys on par 5s to whiff, so I could just hit the drive and we'd be on in 2 and we'd be putting for a birdie anyway. So literally you were at a benefit with some of these players that were so bad that if they actually hit the ball, it was going to be out of bounds or in the weeds. So
yeah, that was us. Hey, Bob. That was us our early years. Everything was big right into a slice. There was 3 people that could keep it in the fairway.
Yeah.
All right, let's shift gears. Tell me about that first campground. Wade, what's your memory of the first campground?
Out in Washington. Seemed a little ways away from Lewis River, but it was a good spot.
The first one was right close to Lewis River. It literally was the one that was a long ways away was when we went back to Lewis River. The first one was right on Lewis River, maybe 5 miles away from the golf course. And we were invading other people's campground, and we couldn't get a spot for us, so we hung out in this weird little spot next to the river, and that's why people rolled down into the river. That way up, that was a different one. Like my wife and I used to go scout campgrounds for us. That's where we got we would literally go camp, pre-camp for the Bullet to find a spot for us.
Well, dude, you ran the Bullet for a lot of years until we pulled that EC together. And then, of course, now we've handed it off to Crum to kind of keep things in order. But what I remember distinctively about the first Bullet is rolling in there, and there was a campground host. Wade, you'll love this. His name was Harold. You remember Harold? He had a Ranger hat on, and it just said Harold across it.
I remember something about him.
Yeah, about every fifth. You weren't named after him, were you?
I don't know. I've never asked.
Okay. But what I remember is him checking on our campground about every 15 to 20 minutes because, as Casey said, we were invading some public campground. And
we were parked illegally?
Well, kind of. We just made a spot in the dirt and called it a campground. But I remember him checking on us, and I remember Holzgang always being kind of the voice of reason for our group. And he'd pull the guy aside and say, "It's all right, Harold. We got this thing covered. We'll be good to go." And I remember the next morning waking up early, as you do when you're out camping, and seeing Sadie's head literally in the river. Like it was literally in the river. Just his mouth and his nose were out of the river, and he's still sleeping.
Bradley and I vowed to finish off the keg. We were not going to bed till we finished off the keg, and we slept under the stars, I know, and I woke up with a bad neck.
Did you finish?
I think the keg was half full when we woke up.
Yeah. And somewhere around that first campfire, this is a debate still, Casey. I think it's a debate between me and you who actually named the scramble.
It wasn't me. It was not me.
Oh, all right. I'll give you credit for getting the whole thing going, but I feel like I came up with that name while we sat around there.
Yeah,
I mean, it seemed obvious.
Did you get the cease and desist letter?
I'm not even going to name it on this podcast because I don't want another letter.
It was not me who named it, but I absolutely loved it when it was.
You got the banner, Casey, that did get us the cease and desist.
No, the cease and desist was different. The banner I got from the Miletus people, and then it got stolen when we were playing at Canita, and when Sammy was stealing all the beer from the local grocery store up there.
Yeah.
But that was bad. But no, that was a sign to show everyone where that miserable campground that was 40 miles away from Canita was, that you had to have a 4-wheeler to drive down. And there, by the way, that was the ultimate cheat of all Bullet times ever, is when Tim says it's not marked. The barbed wire fence wasn't out of bounds.
Yeah, that came up a lot last episode. That might be a theme that comes in every episode, that time that they played from a cow pasture.
I was on that team.
Oh.
And whatever Tim says is legit. How do I know?
You all feel bad about it still today.
I don't.
I don't.
Yeah, you did.
Can I see the trophy? Yeah, we
Did we win?
We won back to back.
Did we win by one shot?
Yeah.
That's questionable.
Yeah, it's totally questionable. Casey, the Bullet never really quite turned into everybody staying in Sun River and, playing like the Kipper, but you got to be pretty proud that it's still going 38.
Well, here's the thing. People didn't understand we weren't supposed to camp. Getting everyone off of that fucking train wreck was, we finally are now, we're way closer to what it's supposed to be than what it was. And it's a different thing. It's evolved into something that's very important to a lot of people, so that's a cool thing.
By the way, can Casey say the F word, or do you have to edit that out?
No, it's fine. Thank you, though, for policing that. Appreciate that.
Just curious. I might want to use it later. I didn't know.
Hey, if you're looking for the F word, this might. Wait a minute. Where's Portly?
His phone died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Portland-
here's the other thing too. So a minute ago, I lost internet connection for a minute, and now I'm back in here as a guest. This all could be just a bunch of bullshit, but we'll find out.
No one's seeing it.
Yeah, it's still recording. It's still recording. So Casey, we got Walla Walla coming this year. What's got you excited about it?
I like Walla Walla. It's a great golf course. I've played some Senior Open PGA tournaments there. It is a very, very easy course that they can make impossible depending on where they put the. It isn't like it's a scary tee shot on any tee shot. You know, you're there. It's wide open fairways everywhere.
Isn't the bullet record at Walla Walla?
Yeah, minus 34.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, two-day scramble. It was
Swing
minus
away.
it was minus
Yeah.
28 up until then.
And again, it's all about where they put the pin. If they want to be assholes to us, they can make it so we can't score 10 under. But it is a great golf course. I mean, I'm all in on a Walla Walla rotation. My favorite courses, though, obviously Black Butte's great, and I like the Juniper ones, but I would still like to get the Bullet in Sun River.
It
We're
happened.
trending in that direction. Hey, Wade, what are you most excited about this bullet? I hear Sadie's going to be cooking up smash
Hey,
burgers.
Smash
one
burgers.
night.
You just hit on it right there. Is it Thursday night or Friday night smash burgers?
Thursday. It could be Friday too. It depends.
Sadie was struck by God and now makes the greatest smash burgers in the world. And I'm going to have one on Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then
Casey,
with Walla Walla Country Club, which I thought you were joking when you said WWCC. I didn't know they had a Walla Walla Country Club.
Well, they do.
No.
It
So
goes
we're
this
gonna play
way,
that
and
on
then it goes
Thursday.
that way, and then it goes that way, and then back that way, and then that way, and back that way, and that way, and you get around there in a
Okay.
couple hours, go jump in the pool, have
Okay.
a snack.
Okay.
It's great.
Sure. Have a smash burger.
A smash
Probably.
burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
no.
Casey,
it'll
if
be
you
fun.
make it up there on if you can make it up there on Thursday, come play Walla Walla Country Club and eat smash burgers with us.
Be there. I'm not even sure if I'm playing in the pug. I'm literally like I just got done with the member guest at Crosswater. Gonna play in Portland's member guest. I won the member at TPC Summerlin, so I'm playing in the BMW Championship in August.
Playing some good golf.
I went down. My best story of the year, was I went down finally. You guys have all. I don't know if Jeff has, but I think Wade and Mike played in that Scottsdale deal with Mike Gamby and brother-in-law.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hit a hole-in-one on the second to last hole of the tournament, $1,700.
That's good. Hey, can I tell a quick story about going to visit Casey last year? I went to play with Casey at Sunderland. 18th hole, Casey likes to draw the ball a little bit and kind of drew his ball into the desert. And so we're going looking for it. And he finds another ball, picks it up. He goes, oh, that's Maddox's. And I look at the ball. It says Maddox on it. Yeah, and I'm like, is that Greg Maddox? He's like, yeah, you were hitting balls next to him on the range this morning. And I was like, that's kind of would have been cool to know like 4 hours ago. Thanks. I was warming up next to Maddox. It's like, that maybe that's a guy I'd like to meet, but I don't know.
I play golf with him every day during the winter.
I thought you were talking about Brian Maddox, who is by the way one of the big misses of the Bullet. That guy's a tool. Baker High School. If you go to Baker High School, you should be a 12 letterman person. Actually, no, do a track or field event one day, beat a couple kids from Umatilla, and you've got 16 letters. And he thinks he's all that. And that probably needs to get edited, doesn't it?
No.
Well, it doesn't. He's not going to lose his job.
I'm just
although
hoping
I'm
it
not
got
sure how he
recorded,
keeps
that's
a
all.
job. I'm hoping I don't know how he keeps a job.
I feel like we just got warmed up. Usually about the 35-minute marks when we've been sort of shutting this down. You got any parting shots, any stories anybody's got to get off their chest about the origin of the Bullet?
I was wrong on most of my takes. It sounds like, which is fine. And also love Be Mad, obviously.
Oh,
Great,
yeah. We all know it's in good
great
fun.
guy.
I will
Great
say,
guy.
Odie, I learned a couple things. I mean, I was there and I learned a couple things just listening
Yeah.
to this.
I never heard about the Kipper.
Estep was there.
Why didn't Estep play in the first one?
No clue.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
And I never knew about the Kipper being the what got the bullet together. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we lost
That-
Odie too.
Did I just literally log myself out?
You literally did. We can hear you. But...
No, I'm right. I'm right here. I just hit a button. What I remember is Casey threw out the idea. Obviously, you guys have been talking about it for a while. Everyone said, "Yeah, let's do it." And then somehow somebody figured out how to get a keg, which I guess is 21-year-olds. You figure that out.
Well, it's,
We
you
had
just go
any
buy a
21-year-olds.
keg. I mean, that wasn't tough.
Yeah. Well, but the crazy part is we talked about this before. How do you get everybody there? This was in the age of no cell phones, nothing. We just kind of met at some parking lot and probably caravanned up. But I remember Casey or somebody going to the phone and calling Kelly saying, "Hey, we need another team," and then calling Johansson. And like within minutes, we had 12 guys ready to roll.
Like I said, I had no idea they were showing up till the tee box. And again, I could be wrong. They might have camped with us the night before, and I just don't remember. This is starting to point out that I have a horrible memory.
Well, it happens, Wade.
Disappointing, I'll be honest.
It's okay.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
for upcoming podcasts, we'll be doing one on Walla Walla, sort of previewing the teams. He's going to be releasing
Okay.
picks live on a podcast. He'll be reading them for us. We'll post that somewhere. And we'll, of course, after the bullet, we'll do a recap. But there's 100, if not 1,000 stories that are associated with bullet.
I hope you guys can get kind of a quick summary of the history, like how it went from the modern or the pre-modern bullet to the modern bullet, which I think is Crum. Crum's the main guy there. Crum should be on here because
It will be.
one of the nicest guys you'll meet too, and he I think kept it going and did all that, but I don't know how all these guys got invited. I have no idea.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how deep we want to go into. I think that's for a different.
Now,
That's
There's no
for a
easy
different
rule on-
episode.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I think that is an episode.
Oh,
No, it's going to be a whole episode on just how to get into the bullet or how people got in the bullet.
Why
It's
isn't
become kind of it's become kind of reserve top heavy at the moment. Casey, one of the things we're considering is for the 40th bullet, 2 years going back to Tokati, taking over some lodge. In my mind, that's when the bullet became a 2-day tournament, and that was the year Brad and I won it, and then we let it go a second day, and there's probably been about 10 times the bullet almost died and came back to life.
It was dead. SLR.
Yeah.
Wasn't that mostly you, Sadie, that was saying that?
Well,
was
it was.
dead?
It got a little stale for a minute, but it's all right. I mean, that's another episode too. Odie, you know what? I was going through the files today, and there was a file in there. I didn't look at it, but it's called like Best Chats of 2014. Just reading those would be a really good episode because that was about the heyday of all the good stuff in the room.
The insider's not getting enough credit either. When we had to go and
Those were so funny.
yeah,
We got those too.
Yeah, we got. Jim Ward writing articles. Got articles brought in. I remember the Kinko's people saying they couldn't print that one with Erica Oleniak on it. So, yeah.
But they did. They printed the one with Kagar and the
They printed everything.
Yeah.
I found a good guy that said yes.
Well, we could do a whole episode on that American flag sweater that you were wearing around for a couple of years.
Is that with the shorts?
Yeah.
That's
That was, I don't have it.
Hey,
but
that's
that
a
was
whole
probably
different story. I mean, honestly, what followed that was one of the greatest tee shots in history. In history, and I'm talking anything. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That
I was puking my guts out with blood-shot eyes. I mean, blood-blistered eyes, and hit it over 300 yards right next.
it
Yeah.
was.
Well, you and that was.
When you needed a drive? Did they need a drive from
No,
you?
this was first tee. It was unbelievable. I mean,
okay.
we went from spittle to boom.
do an episode, call it From Spittle to Spectacular.
Yeah,
Because there are some guys that can rebound pretty well in this group.
that was not one of those days.
That's
All right, well,
fantastic.
we're gonna-
Yeah,
Hey,
wrap it,
Sadie,
Odie.
do you know-
Yes.
Do you know?
Thank
Casey's out.
you. Thank you for having me. Really proud of you guys. The success you're having on this is just fantastic.
75 views, Wade.
Continued, yeah.
Says 75.
A million and 75 views. Continued success. Wishing you.
And
All right.
we'll be sure to have you on a previous episode or no.
Previous one.
No, well, yeah, we can't do that, but we'll bring you on another episode. I feel like we need more time with you and kind of what's going on up here. But
the hair.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sadie, do you know how to stop this recording if we're done?
This is going to be an abrupt end.
Well, like we like to always sign off, get better, and if you can't get better,
Right.
break it. Peace.